I knew it was my life's mission to investigate psychic fraud once that first conviction came in, and people started calling me from all around the world telling me that they needed my help.
All right, so yesterday we introduced you to Bob Nygaard, a former New York cop turned psychic buster. He's made it his life mission to take down psychic scammers.
That's right, and apparently there are plenty. We sit down with a victim today. She was a full-time medical student who claims she was scammed out of nearly $2 million by a woman named Sherry. The victim requested to remain anonymous, so we have changed her voice and covered her face.
Take me back to that first moment when you first encountered Sherry. Where were you? What were the circumstances?
I was actually crying in my car earlier, and I just felt very depressed, and I had actually prayed to God at that point that I just needed him to intervene and do some things. I just wasn't okay. I didn't feel okay. And I was at a very popular, huge mall in Houston. This woman approaches me, and it was very obvious that I had been crying. Like, I looked like defeated, and she came up to me and complimented my sunglasses and just started a conversation with me. But one of the first things she said to me is, we were meant to meet, God brought us together. And because I had just prayed that, it just made sense, something clicked. I don't usually talk to strangers at a mall, but it was kind of like giving me a source of hope.
Bob Nygaard says this is commonly how psychic scammers work.
One of the hallmarks is isolate the victim. Come up to the victim in a public place, compliment the victim, find out if the victim is really suffering from some severe trauma, and then financially exploit that person under the guise of offering them assistance.
Sherry then offered a reading to the victim at her parlor, and what she had to say was shocking.
The next day, she did confirm that there had been a curse placed upon my mother, actually, and that is what had killed her, the negative energy is what had killed her. And
that's what Sherry told you?
Yeah, and that even made sense to me because my mother had passed and there was no clear cause from it. So it all made sense to me.
Sherry became like a confidant or a friend to the victim very quickly. And it started off with just a couple $100 here, a couple $100 there. What started off as a free reading turned into, I just need a few $100 to do some deeper research. And then, oh, there's a curse on you.
It doesn't happen just overnight, but it does.
Just slowly over time, you look up one day and you're in it in a way that I would imagine.
But you're in it, but you have so much invested, that, and it's so real. Because she also at that same time was isolating me. My family's all in South America, so I didn't have any close family.
Another thing that the self-proclaimed psychic will do is they'll isolate the victim from friends and family. They'll create a sense of dependency. You have to trust me and only me. They'll create a siege mentality. They'll say, you know something? If somebody else comes up to you and tries to say something to you about the work we're doing, they're from the devil.
Throughout this entire process, you're still in med school, right? Or?
Yeah, I had to take a lot of time off, take leaves here and there, just because how much she was asking me each time. It went from first just a few hundred here and there, but then it became 1,000, became 10,000. Then that summer she needed 100,000 within a month.
Okay, and the largest amount of money that she ever demanded from you?
So my father passed more than halfway in through the scheme, and I inherited a lot of money from him, and a lot of it was liquid. So there's 600,000 at least liquid, and that went over a period of a few months. She just took it all.
Everything from your father?
Yeah, so I would just go to the bank every morning and deposit $9,000.
And Sherry was very careful how she received the money from the victim. Sometimes it was wired, but most times straight cash.
One way we did it, she had me put $100,000 in cash and FedEx it in a box to Florida. And there's no way to prove that.
Sherry's demands for money were getting so out of control that the victim says she had to turn somewhere she never thought she would have to.
I started working at a strip club. I mean, it became that became my life at that point.
Really?
Because that's how I was able to come up with that money.
How did you feel at that point when you decided to resort to dancing to make the money?
It had been something I had dabbled in before, but it wasn't what I wanted to do. I wanted to focus on medical school, but I wasn't able to. And it got to the point where I had to take over a year off for leave of absence from school just to work nonstop at the club.
The victim ended up turning down an offer for her medical residency and over 7 years lost nearly $2 million to Sherry. She got Bob involved, who helped take Sherry down.
In a Sherry Uwanawich case, we were dealing with wire fraud on the federal level. The case ended with Sherry Tina Uwanawich getting convicted and sentenced to 40 months in federal prison, which I thought was an absurd sentence given the seriousness of the crime.
Now trying to regain her life back, the victim is even considering finishing her residency. However, Sherry has still not paid her any of the $1.6 million back. For people who may be watching and they think, well, that would never be me. I would never fall for that. What do you want them to know about this experience?
I just want them to know that it could happen to anybody. It just takes the right set of circumstances.